Hey folks, it's Jeff Doyle here. I've decided to do a little experiment today. Last fall, I watched a video by a YouTube user who went out and reviewed different camo patterns, both for motion and still hunting. I thought this would be a neat exercise to try with the camo gear that I use. I've got orange, both solid and patterned. I've got Sitka, Mothwing Mimicry, and the Optifade, snow camo, and of course, a good old trusty plaid shirt. So, given the different cultures and different requirements in the North Woods, where we have really a big culture of tracking, I've seen guys wear and be successful with all these different patterns. But after getting into a buck this fall and having him spot me or smell me, I'm still not sure which it was, and slip away without me ever getting a chance to see him, I decided I wanted to learn a little more. I think it's important to ask questions about how we hunt and how we can get better. So I'm going to let you take a look at the video. I'll check back in after I've had a chance to review it myself. We'll see which one looks like it works the best. So in this video, I decided to adjust the color and the lighting of the video to what I would have expected a deer to see. Now, based on my own experience and a study done by the University of Georgia, I began to understand and put together what I would expect deer to see. And deer have, like us, both rod and cone photoreceptors in their eyes. And rods are responsible for collecting light, while cones are responsible for collecting color. Now, Quality Deer Management did a study that demonstrated in human eyes we have both red, blue, and green photoproteins, while deer only have blue and green photoproteins. So what we would expect is to see a large reduction in the amount of red color that deer would see. But based on my own experience, I've seen deer respond to blaze orange. So I decided to leave a little hint of orange in my videos. Now, whether it's the solid pattern that's present or another level of fluorescence that we can't see and detect, the deer can, or they do see a little bit of that orange, I've decided to leave it in. Now, when I looked through the videos and the different camo patterns, the first thing that struck me for tracking down a big buck was that regardless of the camo pattern, anytime there was movement, you instantly stood out, or I instantly stood out in the video. But looking at the camo patterns, the best by far, in my opinion, was the Optifade. And I was really surprised by how good it performed. Now, I expected, since I was on snow, for the snow camo to perform really well. And it did perform good, but I also learned that anytime the snow is not hung in the trees, I'm probably going to leave it home. Because when I was up against the background of something other than snow, I stood out like a sore thumb. So all in all, when I look down through the patterns, I would say not all of them are great. Some of them are better than others. But when I'm going to track down a buck, I think regardless, it doesn't matter what camo pattern you use. And that's been shown throughout the different cultures of the Northeast. We've got folks up in Maine wearing the green plaid or the red plaid, and they're all killing big bucks. They're tracking them down in their bed under 20 yards. So it's definitely doable. So how does that happen if our camo pattern isn't what's enabling it? Well, to be smart about it, I think what we need to do is make sure that there's something physically blocking the deer's sight between you and it as you move to it. Whether it's a tree or terrain, that's really the only way. Because for any of those camo patterns, even if you're invisible standing still, the second I went to move, I showed up easily. Well, I hope you learned something, because I definitely did. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We'll see you around.